Hi, today we're going to look at figure 3 question 1c, and this figure now, the view, especially the side view or the end view, is different from the usual. It's now looking from the left hand side. So as always, please draw the boxes. Your front view is drawn here, and your plan view is always above the front view, and your end view now is looking from the left hand side. So your end view should be placed on the left. Don't forget to draw this meter line because lines can be used. This meter line can be used to help you in your projections. Okay. Now, the front view, you're facing it this way. So whatever that you look at this in this direction, you will draw it on your front view. And you draw this little man and you float right up, and you are looking at this from this angle and looking down, and you have your plan view. Okay. Now for this particular problem, I want to show you that I'm going to start from an end view, just to prove to a point that you actually can start from any view and it doesn't really matter. Okay, and if you can't complete your view, your end view in one sitting or one drawing, then it's okay, you can proceed to the other views because you can make use of projection lines to complete your drawing. Okay, to start off, I'm going to draw the end view first, and the end view is 64 millimeters in its from its base or its width. Then its height is 50 millimeters. Okay, and then it goes, let me zoom in a bit, and then it goes across 40 millimeters. Where did I get this 40 millimeters from? It's from the drawing here. You look up 40 millimeters, then when you go down it's 30 millimeters, then when you go across it's 10 millimeters. Okay, so that's where I get all my dimensions. I look at the drawing and I get my numbers. Okay, down, oops, sorry, that number wasn't registered, so it's 40, enter, and then I go down by 30 millimeters, enter, and then I go across by 10 millimeters, enter, and then I close the loop on this. Okay, now this would be my end view. I could carry on to draw, I could go on to draw the hidden lines, right? I could go on to draw the hidden lines. I can just click offset here, and I know that over here there is a hidden line here, but I'm going to hold back a little while just to show you that you can actually come back to this view later on to do your projections, okay, and your drawing. Now at this point in time, I'm going to draw my construction lines, and I always click on construction lines here, and I'll draw my vertical extremes. Okay, so you click on all the extremes. This is one extreme, this is the other extreme. Okay, and I repeat again, and I press horizontal this time round, and I'll click my extremes as well. All right, now some of you may be wondering, oh no, where are all my outlines? So you can actually select your outlines, right click, and you go to your draw order. Okay, and then you bring them to the front so that your outlines brought to the front and you don't feel so insecure. Okay, now at this point in time, I'm going to do an offset of 30 millimeters. And I can offset it here. Whoa, that's quite large. Let me check. Offset of 30 millimeters, or 20 millimeters. Usually I do 20 millimeters. And I'll offset the top, and I'll offset this side. Okay, now enter. Now the meter line is running from the bottom right hand corner to the top left hand corner. So bottom right hand corner, and it's about 120, tab, and 135. How I get this 135? It's 90 degrees plus 45. It's 135 degrees. Okay, so once I have this, right, I then draw the horizontal line. Okay, I can draw the horizontal line, or I can do an offset for my front view. So what's the width of my front view? Looking from the front view, right, the front view is actually here, 80 millimeters. Okay, so this is the front view. So the length of the front view, so the length of the front view is 80 millimeters. I'm going to do an offset by 80, enter, and I have my offset over here, right? And the next question is, what is the width of my plan view, or the breadth of my plan view? Okay, it's not known here. And if you look at the drawing, when you float up, okay, when you float up, the width of your drawing, for the plan view is 64. The length would be 80, right? So the length is already drawn. It's the 64 that's not drawn. Now you can do it two ways. You can choose to do an offset by 64, okay, or you can just choose to create a construction line, type H for horizontal, and you just zoom in here and you click, okay. And why is that so? Is because, right, the width of the end view is also 64, and then when you project it up towards the meter line and bring it across, right, you will get the height, or the breadth of the plan view, okay. So you can do a quick check. You can use your dimensions and you click on the crosses, and when you zoom in, you'll see that the number is 64, right? Now we're going to draw the front view next, and I'm going to go to the outline and I'm going to draw the front view. And the front view goes across here by 80 millimeters, then it goes up, okay, it goes up by 20 millimeters, 20, enter, and then I know it goes up again all the way to this height, then it goes across, and then it goes back down, okay. Now why did I do that small break there? Well, I could choose to draw them from here, or I can actually choose to project from this end view and it goes to the same line as well. So I could do it this way, okay. And that's my front view. It's not completed yet. I would want to draw the center line of the front view. So the center of the front view is here, so I'll do an offset, and it is offset by 40 millimeters, so I enter. Okay, and I'm just going to draw the center line here. I'm going to bring it down. This is where it is, okay. Okay, that's the center line of my front view, okay. And I could go to my outline, back to my outline again, and I am going to draw a radius of 25 because there is a cutout, right? There's a radius of 25, okay. And I'm going to trim all this away. Right, I don't need this, and I don't need this, okay. And that's my front view, right? And I'm going to draw my center line. I know that there is a center line here, so I'm going to cross, and it starts from here and it ends somewhere near, but it doesn't really touch, okay. So that looks like my front view. Excuse me. And there is a bottom feature of a cutout over here, so I'm going to go to my outline again. Alright, and it goes from here, it goes across. Now the width of the whole thing is 14 millimeters, so I'm just drawing it halfway. 20 millimeters is one, okay, and then it goes down by 12 millimeters, right, enter, and then it goes across. Okay, that's my cutout. Now what I can do is I can select the extra line that I drew, I delete it away, and then I will mirror it, okay. Sometimes mirroring helps in your productivity. Sometimes you just get so used to it, you just keep doing it even though, well, you need not really use it. So this is the cutout, okay. There are some hidden lines here. I'm not going to draw that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my end view and I say, hey, I can draw my hidden lines for my end view now, okay. So one of the first few hidden lines that I can draw is this hidden line that is here. and it goes right across here. Okay, then the next hidden line that I can draw is the cutout that's here, and it goes somewhere here, and I'm not sure how much it goes to, so I'm going, because it doesn't give the width, right? But I do know that from from the inside, right? I do know from the inside it goes in by 5 millimeters, and then it comes down. Okay, so what happens is that we can always trim it away. We don't have this, and we can delete away this top part. Okay, so then you have a cutout, feature here. Now there is what you call it, there is a cutout here as well, a hidden line cutout, and so it is over here, but we don't draw it yet. Okay, we don't draw it yet. We can just jump straight into the plan view. Okay, now when you look at the plan view, we can go back to outlines, and I could comfortably draw a whole entire rectangle. I could. Okay, I could, and I'm going to draw a center line. Line icon, and it starts somewhere here, then it goes up somewhere here. Okay, so the center line icon is here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some offsetting. Okay, so I'm going to offset, and I know that from the top here, the cutout is about 40 millimeters, so I'm going to type in 40 distance, enter, and I'm going to offset this. Okay, and then I know that the next offset is 10 millimeters. Alright, and I know there's a cutout here. Alright, there's a cutout here. It comes all the way down. So what will happen is that the center portion of this is gone. So I'm going to draw the cutout now, and the cutout comes from here, and I know that it starts somewhere at the 5 millimeter mark. So I can draw my line. Sorry, I should go to my outline, because it is an outline. And it goes down by 5 millimeters, so I need to remember to go back to erase that line, and it is 20 millimeters. Okay, I can offset this from the front view as well, and then it goes down by a certain distance, okay, from the top, but I don't know what that distance is. Okay, I don't know the distance, this distance, so I just draw it slightly longer. Now what is this distance that I'm talking about? Is actually this distance over here. So if you zoom in, right, I am drawing starting from the center. I came across here, I can draw past this line. I know it's okay, but I don't know where this line ends, right? There is no dimension given from this corner to this corner over here, none. It's not given at all, but I do know that I can project it. I can project it because it's from the end view here, and I can project it across. For those of you who are not comfortable with using the tracking, you can actually draw out using the construction lines. Okay, and it becomes very comfortable, right? So you do know that, yeah, that's where it cuts across, and then you can go back to your outline and you can draw it. Okay, starting from here all the way to the end, and then you can tidy up your drawing. You can trim away the end that was drawn a little too much far out. Okay, and you don't need this. All right. Escape. Okay, and I don't need this at the moment. Now once you have done, oh yes, this one was not needed, so I deleted it. Now once you've used a projection line or construction line and you project it from the end view, if you don't need it, if you don't foresee that you need it in the future, just delete it away so that you keep your drawing clean. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to look at is this hemisphere over here. Okay, this hemisphere over here. I do know that there is a little step over here. Okay, there is a little step over here, and that value is actually you can actually take that value as 40, right? Because I take half of 80, and that's 40, minus 32, right? Because the other cutout is 64, okay, 32. So there's one width that's that, okay, there's one width that's that. Okay, so and that leaves me with 8. So I'm going to do an offset of 8 millimeters. And the line is going to be very long. It's okay. What I'll do is I'll just trim it. And then I'll delete it from here. And you do know that there is another line that comes from here. There's another outline that comes from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of my construction line. Okay. And I can draw from here. I can draw all the way up there. Okay. And what happens is that there is something like a C shape cut out over here from the top. Let me show you what I'm talking about in the drawing. Okay, I'm trying to draw this C shape cutout. Okay, this C shape cutout. I'm trying to draw this, and and this is what one end of it looks like. Okay, and there the thickness of this, right, comes down from 10 millimeters. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my outline, and I'm going to draw a line, and it's going to come down by 10 millimeters. Enter. And it's going to go in by 10 millimeters. Okay, and likewise it's the same from the bottom. It goes in by 10 millimeters. Okay, it goes, and then it goes in and it touches this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this away. I'm going to trim this away. Okay, and as you can see, this is this is the cutout. This is the C that I was trying to draw just now. Can you see that? Right, this is the C that I was trying to draw just now, and I've just completed this. Okay, now the next thing I know is that there is a cutout here, and it comes all the way into the curvature of the R25, but this length is not given. Okay, and because this length is not given, I would need to project it from somewhere, and this is the point whereby I can go back to my front view, and I can draw my hidden line, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, it starts from here, and now I'm using projection. Okay, just now I was using construction lines. It starts off here, it goes down, and it goes down by 15 millimeters, and then it cuts out right out across. Okay, now in order to make sure that I don't forget this, what I'll do is I'll select this and I will do a mirror. Okay, oops, sorry, let me try that again. Select objects, right click to accept, select the mirror plane, and then press enter. Okay, so I have this over here, right? and I know that, hey, it cuts out to this point, the curvature over here. So what I can do now is I can make use of the construction line, and like before, I draw a construction line all the way up here. And I do know now that this line here, it can actually be lengthened all the way to here. Alright, and it's the same for the line above. Sorry, let me select that, lengthen, and I can lengthen it there. I can choose to lengthen this, or I can choose to use the extend command. There is this, is the opposite of trim, is to extend. and I can select this like this. I can do that as well, okay, and then I close. Alright, and that's what the drawing of the plan view will look like. Okay, now to avoid confusion, I am going to delete my hidden lines, not my hidden lines, my construction line. And this is what you see from the plan view. Okay, from the plan view, this is what you see, or half of the plan view. Okay, then what I'm going to do next is, of course, I am going to mirror the portion of the plan view, and these are the ones that I'm going to select. See how I use the green square to encompass everything, and because I have this line already drawn across, I need not select that line, and that's what I have. Okay, enter. Then you take a look at your drawing and you ask yourself, are there any hidden lines that you have to do for this drawing? Actually, there is, right? We forgot that we need to do the hidden lines for the end view. Okay, so I'm going back to my construction line. I can actually construct it with the dimensions that are given to me, but I'm going to use the construction lines to help me in the drawing. Okay, this is one way in which you could do, and it's fail proof because you draw exactly and you can see, and then from here you can use your outline and you just join the dots, the crosses. Okay, you look out for the green crosses, then you draw across. Oh, it's not in outline, my bad. It's actually in hidden line because you cannot see it. Okay, it's a hidden line. So click from here, go down and across and go up. So you don't have to worry that you click on the wrong projection. Projection works very well if the drawing is rather simple and that is the only intersection there, but it can get quite dicey or really difficult if there are many points in the vicinity and you could accidentally project from the wrong point, and that would be a very bad mistake. So if you can, if let's say it's a very clear-cut drawing, you can use the projection, but if it gets really messy with a lot of corners and points there, you can use this technique of using the construction lines to draw across. Okay. Now, when you have this drawing, you are more or less done. You've got all your construction lines. And what you can do right now is you can go to the layers and you can turn off your construction line layers. Okay. And then you check yourself, do I have all the outlines? Then you check, yes. Then you ask yourself, do I have all the hidden lines? Then you check yourself again, yes. Then the next thing you ask yourself is, do I have all the center lines? It's like, yes. Okay, you have all the center lines. But, however, there is some minor detail. There is actually a center line for the end view. And actually it's here. This center line depicts the curvature of the circle that was cut into the block, the R25. Okay, and that's what I have. The center line that runs for the R25 that is being cut across. Okay, with this, that's how you do figure 3 question 1c. I hope you've learned something from this video. I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye.